comes from here, guys.
All right, only 3 games remaining here. Is there a world where Virtus Pro gets caught up on? Could it be in this game? We're about to find out. Thank you, Blank. We'll talk to you after this one. It's me and Martin here to bring you the good old Tago.
Yes, indeed. It is a southeast to northwest plane path here. We're going to be ending Omaha Musan. And for me, it's really a game of them coming around and getting things started here. The good old Twisted Mind Split is quite easily be reachable here, so it's going to be a great start to see things up with. We've had a lot of crazy circles we saw yesterday, and what we've seen, actually the tendency in general we've seen on the last couple of patches, we've had a lot of these Northern Ireland circles, and yeah, it's really a kind of usual tendency that we've been seeing. So teams can react to it, and the E-pickups are usually looted for quite a while here. But once we see this first circle pop here, we're going to see where the teams are going to be ending up here. But yeah, interesting to see in terms of these teams. We've got some teams that so far in the lead, with Virtus Pro being 20 points ahead of Twisted Minds. Yeah. They're going to need such a big game to start things off with here. Close to see here, though. First circle. Are we going to have another Northern Circle shift? Oh, is it going to be a prison one? Oh, it's a prison.
Okay, right. Swamp is always something that's interesting for me. And coincidentally, this is exactly where all that silly pickaxe action happened over at PWS, over by the Swamp location. So, you know what? That's my challenge to the players now, even though they can't hear me and they never will, whilst we're obviously commentating and they're playing. But get that pickaxe out and cut through these swamps, yes.
I think that it's balanced right now, but if you play around something with, nades and C4s and pickaxes, you can make some crazy plays and set up people, because at this point where we have, thousands of hours played on the maps and so, people are very used to kind of the driving and where the paths are and everything. Once if I'm driving around, it's like, oh, this is a usual kind of highway spot, and then all of a sudden there's been a red zone there, and I'm driving through a basic, old minefield where there's just holes everywhere. Yeah. And if you can kind of alert that to be in a spot where you can say, okay, we're gonna put out an 8 here, we're gonna put out a mortar, and we're gonna start with pickups. You can make some crazy traps for some of these guys that either is trying to breach your compound or is trying to do something around it, and you can set up kind of counter location to it. So I'm really curious to see how that works out for the next couple of years, because we have not invented the most crazy things with the destructible terrain just yet.
Create moats around compounds, and then
yes.
Can't really fill them with water, but you can definitely fill them with bodies if people try and crash around. One thing, especially on Tago, for me, I don't know why it's Tago specifically of everything, but anytime I'm playing and a red zone happens and I'm trying to rotate after the red zone's gone, I'm like, I forget the red zone is either there, and I'm always like kind of going into the dips that has been created, and I flip and I'm so annoyed. I'm just like, every time, man, every time. It always gets me.
This is why I'm almost exclusively driving a US now, because it's so hard to tip over, obviously.
True.
And also, it traverses terrain so easily. Balls, though, in an early spot here. Look, there's some shots coming in already. Example, trying to see it. Oh my god, he's actually low. One more hit, one more could connect, and then they're out. But now Boss gets out of it. Look at that. Oh, the tracers. I love it.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah, but if you use the UAS exclusively, I can't use my McLaren, I can't use my Lamborghini, I can't use my Aston Martin, you know what I mean? Well, you could use a different Aston Martin, but not the cool one, in my opinion. So, coupe all the way, and then I'll just flip, and I'll be like, guys, can you pick me up, please?
Guys, I need a tip over.
And then they tip over, like, damn this red zone. I've got to have all these craters.
Yeah, look at this. That's true. With the Zen trying to push in and get a little bit deeper here. This is a good start for them, but they need to not lose bodies here. 64 points, 13 points from 6th right now. There's a huge difference from 9th to 6th. We're talking double the amount of PGC points, from 25 to 50, if you're able to just jump that little space. And right now, our middle pack is it's separating themselves quite high. Hive with a good game could kind of join that lower middle pack, but Otherwise, it's separated quite heavily here. And as I don't know, that's I think he's playing very, very, very high colors. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Or a nuclear bomb just hit outside his building and it's suddenly turning
he zoomed into the
radioactive.
red zone, James. That's what I think.
Oh, maybe. But yeah, you're right. The high contrast is. Whenever I watch the level of contrast players play at, it is just it is radioactive basically. Yeah,
it is. Insane contrast and insane in general settings that some of these guys have. I like it, like high quality textures and anti-aliasing, post processing, and that looks clean. But when these guys, they're just trying to make it look to as low graphics as possible, just to get the first of all FPS obviously, but also to remove as much foliage as possible. And I understand that, and I completely agree. But for me, if the cleaner it is, the more easy it is for me to separate out a pixel that shouldn't be there, a player, something in the distance.
Hey, good settings. The game's pretty, man. You're running around like all these little forests and all this stuff, and the way in which all the terrain rolls and stuff is very nice. I will say for Boars, they rolled from that emergency pickup all the way into Hosan Prison, and Nemesis had to give up their 2-2 split for it. So I think for them, considering where they were coming in from and not taking a casualty against Twisted Minds, it's kind of a win for Boars. Yep. Currently at 12th place with 39 points. They're just going to have to sit there for a little while now that the red zone's on top of them.
Let's see what they end up doing here. Noslack Sata, so impressed with what he's been able to do here, and the PNC selection comes in and finishes after the next finals here. But Sata, man, he's made a name for himself. He's made the argument for him to be in that Finnish lineup.
He's good.
He's good. He's a great player. Should be or could be joining. I would say Correx at this point is obviously a given here, but wow. Sata has been an impressive player to play with so far.
I'm curious what Virtus Pro's plan is going to be for this game, because again, I don't think the defenses are as shored up as they would like now. 136 points is phenomenal. However, the one team behind you is the one team that could quite easily make up that difference, and that's not a sensational title. That is not me kind of going out on a limb. That is Twisted Minds behind you. 20 points, yes. For 3 games, 20 points, very doable for Twisted Minds.
It is indeed. And damn, I hope they make it a 2-horse race, or Nemesis has a great one and kind of make it a 3-horse race, but damn, they've been good, they've been strong. And as you pointed out when they were talking, they were kind of getting questioned a little bit in the chat, saying, why didn't you win that last game? We were just for the memes. We tried to make it interesting. We tried to make it close, and
for the content.
For the content, hopefully we get to see some content, and it's not just them running away with it. But yeah, even if it's just the consistent 5, 6, 7 points per game that we know that they have been so able to get, then it's a different story. But they did have 3 games in the first day with just 6 points, and if that happens here, lined up perfectly, that's going to end them in somewhere in the 140s, and that's very doable for Twisted Minds, for sure.
Well, and you can see there, about 2 kilometers away from that red zone for Vis, but you never know. You never know.
I like that. That's a meme now. That's good.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that is maybe becoming a meme, but it's a good one. I like it. Look in the middle of the swamp. A lot of crates there. And also, actually, what is interesting is the S8UL, when they were BB team, always took these compounds next to swamp when it comes to kind of a hold on a position there, and they had a lot of success on Tego from those compounds in the past with these kinds of circles. So
yeah, they did.
There is a world where they are able to bump up even further.
Yep, for sure. Let's see though where Seta goes now and what they decide to do here. It's a circle that's closing in just a little bit under a minute. And how deep the teams are going to be able to be. It's always Vis and Noslack that's close to each other, like so often in those kind of locations. It's almost like Stratos and the guys from Noslack, they think alike with the Finnish mindset. And again, for how everything comes through here with PGG locking down a 2-2 split, that could be kind of called out from Noslack if we end up going on the southern side here. But I really like S8UL's 2 split here, James. It's looking really, really strong.
Yep, Nemesis knows that the Mythov are moving in above them, so got to get out of dodge as quickly as possible, from so said. Get back to the rest of his team. The spray comes in from Mika. Doesn't connect with anything, though. So Nemesis lives to fight another day for that. And again, considering where they are right now on podium, With the potential of Na'Vi trying to catch up now, that is very deadly. So we get a big shift. It goes to a bit of a lean to the east, not really including anything from Hosan Prism. So all those teams on that west side going to have to get a bit of a move on. Na'Vi's already moving into the middle of the red zone, into the compound that's there, and that's a huge move for them. But Nixie starts things off against Kiliakai as Virtus Pro's on the warpath.
Virtus Pro starts to get just a few more kills and Noxie and Ascent being on the receiving end. Keter goes down as well to Corexi, and Corexi found T-Bone as well with a nade here. It's falling apart for Ascent. They're hoping to have another great game here. Batulin stole it. That's another point to go the way and away from VP here. Now it's Chris is left alone.
Like, if you just don't move, maybe they're like a T-Rex, they don't see you. Chris, it's not working. Now, the Virtus Pro is mad now. They see the red flares. They see the potential for kills, and they came charging into this compound for it.
Oh, they did. Trying to get them away, trying to say, don't steal our kills. What are you doing? All right. Can Chris get a knock and a flush potentially? They think he's in where T-Bone is knocked, but now the SWAT team comes in. A 3-man face checking here, and T-Bone saying there's no chance of you getting survived for this game here, or revived for this game. And let's see if they survive for this one here. Beamy flushes it out, and now we have Crossberg and Celtic fighting Hive here. We were talking about Hive. They need to make a play to get in and rejoin that middle pack here. As that UL finds Mogul. Ascend is down as well in the distance. Luckerrock's finding its Chris.
Important location for these teams at the moment, kind of scrapping across what is effectively the middle of the circle. Need to move forwards, trying to get more damage here against them from warehouse to warehouse. Bit of a spray comes in to finish things off for Mogul. Done and done here. And a nade here against Rocks here. Bushido Wildcats doing well. Panzerfaust across the way. Doesn't really do any damage at all as he moves in to try and deal with Schengen. Finishing off the remaining players, and they do finish it off here. Hive down and out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's see what they're going to be able to do in the next games. But yeah, we were talking about it, that 50 points. They could have been having a great game and actually rejoining that kind of top 10 there. But now it's looking like it's going to be rough for them. Vitality also looking strong with their current combo that they're holding on to. And yeah, it might be a Hosan or Southern Hosan ending. We've seen so many of them recently. Can Vitality hold on to this compound here? Are they just going to play on that northern side of it and just kind of deny any teams trying to get deeper into this circle here? TMO on that western side of SZUL, but there's so many teams that's trying to get into a greater spot here. We have Nemesis on the western side just kind of scouting in where the drops have come to Melman right now, but it's going to be a rough one for the teams not holding on to some of those great spots where you can kind of have an entry of the next circle and kind of an approach angle into it. You have some great rotations for the majority of the teams here, but right now it's looking great for Vitality, great for SZUL, great for Na'Vi holding on to that Hosan mountain just south of Hosan.
Does Boz have a second D pickup? Is that what we're going to see here after the Hosan Prism transition?
They looted Hosan, there should be one in there.
Well, we will see. See if they even take it, right? Because the thing is that technically they have Halo Sampai actually driving on forward, so I think the rest might take it, and then let's see what happens from there. At the same time, though, PGG also setting one up. The circle goes straight to Hosan Fields to get things a-rolling. So Bushido Wildcats a very important win for them. But if Twisted Minds wants that, if they take this south side of Hosan and continue to hold on strong, I don't know. I think Twisted Minds might be on the catch-up here.
They could be. They could be indeed. Let's see what happens with the angles and changes we're going to have from the teams rotating in here. This, though, trying to get close and kind of drive Scott a little bit. I think they're taking that West Hill above SADUL here. That's a really good threat, yeah, as you're pointing out. But that's not a lot of space, and not that many teams can actually play there. But they're getting shot from so many angles here. They're trying to find a safe spot. I don't think they know exactly what their plan is, what a car fault could work out, but it's difficult to hold on to. VP might be joining them later on as well. They got the compound, and they've got some good shots and nice angles lined up on multiple of the Viz members.
Yeah, it'll be difficult to negate both the Twisted Minds and the Virtus Pro angles on this spot here. So they're trying their best, but if you move over to Stratos, Virtus Pro sees you. If you move over to the other three, Twisted Minds kind of sees you a little bit from where they were. That being said, though, more teams are going to actually be repositioning themselves as well. PGG actually sending one from the parachutes into the field, and the rest are going to be coming along with cars. So they'll try and pitch up alongside this. Just as long as you're not in nade range, it should be okay. You can exist in these fields for quite a bit. Again, the way these fields work, on Tego. I say it every single time. They're some of my favorite fields in the game because they are kind of indented into the ground, so you can actually play them.
I completely agree. It's some of the best design of how fields should work. If there's open fields, it should be like this, because you can play and leapfrog into the next field ahead of you. And you're, especially if you're that kind of last team to come in from that angle of approach, it really works out here. Sosa trying to figure out where to go. Luig, it's a trade with the Panzerfaust and the AUG. And now Sosa, it's been on the receiving end of things here. Can they get it? The flush comes in. Melman gets the point here. Really important points for Nemesis to try to hold on and steal that BRM. It's mine. Mine now.
Well done here by Melman. Wants to try and get the recover on here for the rest of them. Sosa down, of course, but they're doing a pretty good job taking down Hicks as they're trying to defend their man. Doing all right with it. Yeah, taking a BRDM for this. What a brilliant little trade here for Nemesis, keeping their dreams alive.
Defense tries to get some cover out here and rolling. It's a little bit difficult. I'm not sure if we're going to see more kind of fights on this, because I really want to see them just kind of finish this fight on quickly and they get deeper into the zone here, because as time passes, too many teams actually take control of some of the crucial areas here. I really see it's going to be difficult for Nemesis to get any angle approach, even if it's just, you know, a miracle sent to Hosan to try to get some of the open area there. It's just to play every single hill that's kind of next and ahead of them here. So let's see what they end up doing here. No slack. They do get a shift though here, James. Look at that southwest shift. It's perfect for SZUL, and it's Hail Mary and a hope for Nemesis to play that southern side.
Yeah, this is looking bad, right? It's like when you're playing D&D, you hear a rustling in the trees, and then your DM suddenly says, yeah, there's a giant owl bear about to strike you. And they do take down boars, actually, so the wolves in the trees are gone here for the second. But now for Nemesis, I mean, where do you go? Technically, yes, having the BRDM is huge, but you're going to have no slack looking over here. Oh, he's just shooting the BRDM. He's crazy. I love it.
Yep, get that out of there. I mean, you should be dying. Oh my god, Scap though. Look at that. That's an easy nade thrown. Sata finds Melman as well, an easy flush as well.
Lovely.
And the BRDM is out though. That would have been fun if they were able to repair it.
Maybe they were looking for that, but yes, regardless, they shut down Team Nemesis here. Now, third place might be open if Na'Vi can make something of this. They're having a bit of a scramble though on that east side of the new circle that's come along, because we've had a big southwest shift on this one. As the Mythov in the distance is aware of what has been going on around them. They do have Justice a bit ahead of them as terms of an anchor point, but of course that's not exactly got tons of cover as well, and there will be teams around that position like kind of looking down on where he actually is.
This could definitely be SZUL's push for Navi's location or Navi's spot on the leaderboard, right? Because 15 points, that's basically a win with some kills, and Na'Vi right now is under tons of pressure on this eastern side here. They are basically pincered in between PGG and Vitality, and it's just in a shack. PGG has a greater spot, has cover, has, 3 gear, whatever they found in from all the crates, and Vitality has the last kind of hard cover on the southern side here, so it's definitely going to be difficult for Na'Vi here. And if they all four commit to this angle here, it's going to be really easily nadeable or blue zonable for the other team. So let's see what happens here. And if that's the angle approach, they go deeper though, James.
Yeah, and where's Starry Sky's going to go here on the CSE side? Because they're wrapping around. They didn't want to go through Hosan. They don't want to go near those fields. They're wrapping around. This could enter right next to where Na'Vi is, or try and hit the compound where Vitality is. Regardless, it's a big wrap. Akatori at the moment in the distance trying to deal with PGG. Zabilla is down as they're on the corner of the fields. Starry Sky is also driving on in. It's exactly what I thought was going to happen here, and they're just driving into the barrels of Na'Vi. This is feeding them some good points at the moment.
It is. Agatory getting more confirms onto Starry Sky. The points that they need to separate themselves from that 5th place from SZU. Oh my god! Did he just absolutely slaughter him? That's huge. And look at that. With the booster getting that confirmation on or knock on to Silas here, that's massive. Ferris also helping out. Hekatori has to heal here. Hello, my bad. This is looking dire for Na'Vi. They're going to be under so much pressure. Explosion is about to happen here. And Hello, my bad is the specialist.
That's pretty good. 169 meters. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that might be on point here. He's going to have to run. Look at that. Has to separate himself from the cover.
Oh, no, you're right.
That's good.
Yep. Spirit moving on away from it. There was only one shot coming in, no? Did we hear a second?
Yeah, I think it was for distance accuracy, right? And they checked if it's actually far enough because, what is it, 13, 14 meters, wherever you're scrolling up and down. So it might be too far, might be too short, even though that you try to be as accurate as you are. So let's see here. With that next circle shift, though, S8UL is laughing, and Virtus Pro still has a huge chance for this game here, especially with the BRDM in play. Now all the teams from the southeast, Vitaly's going to have to make moves here. Na'Vi, PGG has kind of the eastern side, but they're going to potentially have to fight Bushido Wildcats. Noselag's going to have to make a massive push, either crash S8UL or try to get the space off the western side from TMO.
Yeah, with this circle shift, I heard the cheers of thousands of Indian fans for S8UL as, of course, they have got themselves in an amazing position.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, true. But that said, though, will they be able to hold it on down? It can be difficult, especially when crunch time actually comes, if multiple teams actually want to try and make the play for it later on down the line. As some of these teams on the edges are eventually going to get desperate. They will be playing a lot of edge at the moment here, some of these teams, though. They'll be trying to sweep some of the teams away from them so they can control some of the edges. As Levante and the boys here trying to deal with Na'Vi. Na'Vi has only got one kill. And after all was said and done during all of that, Ferris is down. Gedrox looks to finish him off, comes around the corner on that, and did take some damage there to Boostic on that nade. Goes for the spray, but it doesn't work on out here. Yeah, Gedrox goes down, but Boostic is also taken away, thanks to the fact that Hello My Bad was able to finish things off.
Kusi finds the confirmation onto Ferris, and Spiro goes down as well. BME finds a BB. Habibi had fight with Everlong too. Metabase steals it. That's falling so much apart for these teams trying to get in there. That's a C4 though, James.
What's the plan? It's been beeping for a while.
Oh, never mind. Denied.
Okay, well, never mind then.
That was fun. I love the kind of Hail Mary sense with that, as we see Twisted Minds trying to get a little bit of a comeback from this one here. It's a deny to get it. Yeah, I think it's just a deny, both for the points and everything, right? There's no way they survive this. I feel like they're going to get held by PGG or some of the other teams looking at them. He does get a first aid off, but I don't see this happening. Presenti has this on lockdown, no?
Well, yeah, you'd think so. He's keen to try his Perfectix, clearly. All things considered. Okay, no, we're going back. We're not keen to try. The last thing you want is Beamy getting the nut kill. Oh, dear. That is exactly what I was going to say. The fact that if it is Virtus Pro that has the line of sight, that's the last team you want taking you out in that moment. So, honestly, it's rare I ever say this, but it's a mistake from Perfectix. I can't. Oh.
It's going the way. That's the 1 point he lost to Habibi in the last game. So it evens out eventually in terms of stolen and lost kills. This, though, they're trying to hold on to this northern side. And now, finally, the compound gets pushed a little bit onto the next edge of this circle here. Sure, they still have the cover, but eventually we're likely going to see them having to leave this compound here. Noselag, what do you do? You're going to have to make a play here. It's either push onto TMO or onto Virtus Pro's location here. And this is not a team you want to be giving points.
No.
Maybe TMO is fine to get the points, to see if they can get points on them as well. IXE finds Ares. Micah gets flushed as well from Satakova. Finds Ares as well. And it's actually not a bad play here to get points from a team that, sure, if they lose points to them, it's not going to have a location for it. But still, they are now in 5th place.
But the problem is the Virtus Pro still alive, still kicking, 4 alive, 5 kills to their name so far, and they're opening up a firing squad. And anybody that's going to be moving on the low ground below them, as Noselag is currently in that firing line, watching those smokes, just as technically got a bit of a reprieve in what is that little shack. I think maybe he actually might get pushed out of that by the blue in just a few moments' time. Meanwhile, on the other side of the circle, looks like Bushido Wildcats is going for the big wrap around here to try and dislodge the position of Vitality. More smokes here for Noselag, just spraying on through. Why on earth not?
Yeah, I don't really see anything else than them just delaying the inevitable here. PGG's out in 9th place, and they actually managed to survive and opt for placement points here, James, and that's huge. TMO, though, that's the last target. Justice sitting in there. Habibi finds Saint. Everlong, a little bit of a rough spot here with Rinax being the last player alive.
You know, I was very concerned about the Vis move in the way they did their 3-1 before, but it's kind of worked on out here as Celtic gets some rest of vitality. They're done. But yeah, for Vis, they've survived long into this game here, Avenger, with their previous move, looking for that plateau.
And those actually survived quite deeply into this one, managing to get 6th place and the 2 placement points that goes along with it. Managed to getting a few kills from the 7 total here. Just 10 points now from Na'Vi. It's kind of a clawback here for No Slack compared to what we saw yesterday. So
100%.
That would be huge for them to have a chance at if it wasn't for Navi's fantastic games. The last 2 games yesterday and the 2 first games today. Nice shots coming in from Code Marco here. The Turkish superstar himself.
But where does Virtus.pro turn their attention to now? Because right now they are crossing all their T's. They're dotting all of their I's. 26 points ahead of Twisted Minds. Not down just yet. 7 kills on the board. If Saint goes down, that's 8 kills on the board. Oh, but Arton, hey, does take down Beamy. Maybe there's a world here where Vis can dislodge and kind of stem the tide of aggression that's going to be coming from the way of Virtus.pro.
They said UL makes moves here now. They need to take control. They need to make space for themselves and potentially make a little bit of a push onto the angles that Bushido's Wildcat had. And now Celtic pushes on, gets Renek out, and yeah, now Everlong in 5th place here. Look at that. A doozy opens it up on Code Marco. The backfill onto Bushido Wildcat's position here is actually huge. Look at that. Confirmation comes in, and now this is their chance. This is their shot to strike. If they manage to clean up the lobby here, they might be able to take 4th place, James.
Yeah, perfect timing here from them. I was saying before, they're very good from those compounds. They've been able to hold them for a long time in this game. The circle's kind of coming their way a little bit as well, but it is all worked on now. A doozy with the car 98, getting some big damage done here. Lookrooks and Nixie, they'll peek on over and do some damage as well. This is getting absolutely sandwiched on this one, and it's not too much surprise of the teams that are able to make it work. Virtus.pro over on that western side looking spectacular once again here on Tago, and you're crashing on in. Oh no, that's your own nade. I understand. Virtus.pro's on the warpath once again. 150 points is insane.
Yeah, congrats, you guys won the finals of PC Spring 1. But damn, that's a showing. That's a great way to show up. And now Pains is going to have to try to survive. Goes for a little bit of a nade here. He might be able to squeeze another point out here. Actually was pinpoint accurate onto Nixie. If it was cooked a little bit better. Oh, Pains finds him. That's actually huge. Is he going to be able to get saved, though? This is the time to strike. Molotov finds Celtic now, and this is S8UL's chance to get a win. This is their chance to lock down this victory, to hunt down Na'Vi in 4th place.
The issue, again, for the entire lobby every single time, there's almost never a trade where Virtus.pro has a knock go against them to then not get a re-knock on their side. It's crazy how efficient they are with fights. But now S8UL, as you say, what a jump up it's been from them in the past day and a half, as now 87 on board. They should be able to get maybe a little bit more from this, but again, you're going up against the lobby leaders, you're going up against one of the best, one of the very best in the world. Beamy shuts down Crossberg, despite the shots initially coming from Crossberg. And now, a 4v4 here. 2 of the very best teams in the world. Couldn't ask for more.
Ah, that's massive. Beamy got down just a little bit. Ah, that's actually massive. Managed to survive that. Now they're gonna get that absolutely out of there, especially with an MG3 in the hands of S8UL. A 4v4 here by these 2 teams here. It's a 2-2 split on both sides. Lockerox finds one. Lockerox gets straight out by Besto. Now a 3v3.
Not bad from Besto. Shuts down Lockerox completely. Now a doozy once again with the car 98, trying to do some damage against Nixie as he was trying to wrap around. Even just a slight deny on any kind of moves would be huge. But the problem is that the trades that I was talking about before did not go the way here of Virtus.pro this time. They do have the Brooks completely gone. Beamy down as well. Bestaloch's able to get that going. And Phil first finishes it off. S8UL is securing a big win here and potentially going to be able to surpass Na'Vi to be able to take that 4th place.
Yeah, that would be huge, and I think that they would win the tiebreaker with this win here, with the placement points coming their direction here. 4v2 for S8UL. The 2 potential more kills on the sides are Corexi and Nixie, and they're not going to go down without a fight. And look at that. Get that man into that car and get him in on the front seat. He's got the MG3. That's my seat. That's advantage for that. You can't put him in the back. That's not happening here. He's the turret. The 990 RPM MG3 for the drive-by would be massive there, but they say no. They go off a little bit of an off angle here. Correction goes down to 60 HP here. Tries to go for a little bit of a nade. A 3-man push here. With the nade coming out, they're going to have to try to deny just a little bit. And now it's going to have to go for a first hit here. They're trying to secure it's not going to be a 2v3. They try to make it a 3v1 here on the side of it.
Yeah, and the person that they've left is the one with the Car 98 being even more annoying. So if they actually rotate around and then they have to negate the line of sight of the 3, you then step into the line of sight of the Car 98. So it's on perfect maneuver here coming out from S8UL to try and get rid of the rest of the members here from Virtus Pro. And they know that they're completely separated up as well. Correx is going to try and dance around it. And he threw down the smoke to try and challenge the Car 98 angle. That's a really smart move as he's trying to dance around against the 3. It's a great shot from Corexi. What a play from him so far. Is it so? No, it's not going to go away. Phil first here does reply in kind. It's all up to Nixie now.
Nixie, he's got the 4x. Oh, that's a great nade. Gonna do some damage onto Phil first. Doesn't confirm they'll walk get a knock on any of it. But yeah, now it's down to Nixie. And look at this man. He's got him. Is he gonna go for a fight with a 4x on the AUG against a Doozy here? Doozy goes for the confirmation on to Corexi. Yeah. Can they maybe squeeze one more point out of S8UL? Doesn't look like it's likely. Shots come out. Lots of shots connect, actually, from the AUG 4x from Nixie. Oh my god, a headshot as well. The spray control on this man is insane.
Yeah, he's really feeling it at the moment. I completely understand the play that he did prior as well. Oh, jeez Louise, good reaction times. He's got to do that every single time. Oh, he gets Molotoved. That's crazy stuff. But the nade that he threw to then look at a Doozy, he was hoping, okay, well, you throw that Hail Mary nade, hoping that it gets like an insane 3-piece. And then from there, you can try and clean on up. But yeah, a 1v4 here, it's almost impossible for Nixie to make it work. He's just going for a cheeky flush.
That's 1 point. Yeah, he managed to squeeze 1 point out of them. That's actually massive. They do have a bit of an advantage in terms of the
you might see him
control here. Yeah, no, he didn't bring the full shield either. It's going to be a difficult one for them to make something. They've got hardcore, they got softcore as well. He got the angle, but it's an S8UL here for this win. 6 kills and a chicken dinner, James.
Talked about it at the start of the
year on the penultimate game to have a chance at striking Virtus Pro.
Imagine if Virtus Pro decided to hot drop test track. But anyway, let's get to it. No, they're not. They're going to Hungshine. It's fine. It's fine. Blank Avenger, take it away for the last 2 games.
So we're getting straight into this one. It is the penultimate match of the day before we close things out here at the PEC. It's been an exciting one, Avenger, so far. Some really good teams, but VP has definitely stolen everyone's hearts during this one. A bit of a change of pace for what we expect here at the PEC with Twisted Minds. Currently not been able to catch them up today. And that's even with VP having not the greatest of games on match 1.
Yeah, it's crazy how much of a lead they've been able to establish. But then again, if you're bringing out 16, 15, 19 kill chicken dinners, it's going to be hard to hold on to that. That's like a horse you're sitting on the horse, you're on for the ride, and they're just running where they ride. And so far here on Rondo, it's been difficult for teams coming into this one here. But Twisted Minds, man, they've always been having so good games here. So I like it from our production side of things. They're looking at this one here. This is the focus, but look at that. Ooh. If that's not a VP circle, and potentially there knows like an S8UL circle, I don't know what is, but I'll tell you this, Blank, right now. This is some of the most difficult games to predict in terms of where we go with the circle, and not really until Circle 3, you'll know exactly where Phase 4 is going to be going towards.
Yeah, there's plenty of unplayable in this area as well, in terms of where you're playing on the outside edge of the map, which is maybe a little bit nice for teams. So they know it's going to be maybe a little bit more central. But again, this could be a hard shift down towards VP on Phase 2. It is a difficult one. I'll give you that, Avenger. But for No Slack, yep, this is a nice one to maybe get some of those points on board for them in terms of the tables. Getting up towards that top side is a little bit more difficult now. I think they've been giving it a really good go today, honestly. With the way things ended for No Slack yesterday, it looked a little bit up in the air, right? It looked a little bit gloomy, but they have bounced back today. They've absolutely bounced back today.
Yeah, today so far, 3 games have passed. 36 points for S8UL, 33 for Viz, 32 for Navi, and 28 for Virtus Pro, and 23 for Twisted Minds. It's been looking really good for S8UL. Viz being able to hold on strong here. No slack, sadly, only on 17 so far, but that's the points that they're able to get in the entire day yesterday. So still a better day so far. So let's see what they're going to be able to do here with Sats and the boys, especially with how this circle looking out. And I'll tell you right now, Kova, Livy, and Scaff, they know Rondo's circles better than anyone. So let's see what they're going to be able to do with this game so far. And actually, a fun stat we can pull up so far here, how many points they've been able to get on the rondos we played so far. It's actually 28 points for Virtus Pro, especially with the big game that they're able to have. But Ascend and Twisted Minds are on 17, No Slack 14. So some of the teams that are specialists on Rondo are in the chase right now and in the lead.
Navi, it is interesting looking at the player stats as well, right? Where they have, like, a lot of the stats are quite similar to some of our top teams in terms of the kills, survival time, but that damage count is just out of this world for some of these players. And it really speaks to, like, the playstyle of Navi, where if they want a spot in the circle, they're very happy to fight for it. They're very, very good at opening up spaces on the map for themselves. They'll definitely have to do this here with such a southwest shift on this one. Have to thread their way past Twisted Minds, Starry Skies, and then into potentially S8UL as they make their way into the circle. But I don't think Navi's going to mind too much about that. They're definitely very warm today in terms of mechanical skill. As we heard from S8UL, it's not all about the mechanical skill. It's about the decision-making in the game.
Molotov almost headbutted the camera and the screen right there. I'm not sure if that was about. They're looking pretty good for this circle. And let's see how deep they can take it, though. But yeah, talking about the damage numbers as this game progresses a little bit, it's actually kind of impressive how our top 5 damage dealers are within 400-500 damage of each other. But there's a 1,200 point damage gap from 5th to 6th. Hackatory 5,252, and then Lewis, the next one, is 4,000 flat. Then we have Diffix above him, 5,400. Example above him, 5,400 and some. Beamy above him with 5,500. And then Nixie first with 5,600. It's kind of insane how much better these 5 players have been in the PEC finals for first finals of PEC Spring.
Honestly, it was very nice, like, getting Nixie on the show and then seeing just how well he's been performing, because he seemed very, very humble when we got to speak to him in terms of what mistakes he was making and then how they were going to address them. And then you watch him in game and he's just taking names all over the place, decapitating squads. Crazy player overall. I think he's had a really good 3 days so far. Bushido Wildcats, they're on the run in on the roads, going as fast as possible to get into a better position. They're wrapping down on that southwest side, going to get themselves across the bridge. There is no one holding them out at this point in time, so they can get across and she take a little bit of a position on the other side. And if they need to recross, at least they've scouted this area out beforehand.
This is something that Bushido is actually really, really good at. The car caravan driving so close to each other. If anyone shoots at them, it's a 4-man drive-by, it's a 4-man pull-up. Like, they're so close to each other. Meanwhile, here we see Ascent and Boss kind of chasing each other a little bit. And this is the car caravan that's not happening. Killia is taking shots. Boss is chasing them down, basically. It's only Killia and Kera now with this Chris now down to Lampo. And it's going to be a little bit of a drive by here for Boss. Potentially, they're actually disengaging just a little bit. It's not really worth it. I love it's Chris and him. I think he might be live. I'm not sure. They've lots a lot of personal streams. If you guys want to check, there's some really, really good content coming in through here from PEC. The best and most competitive region in PUBG currently, in my opinion.
Whoa! Stamp on it, I see. Metabay, though, finds balls. They make their way on over. Bushido Wildcats will back off. Metabay, on such low HP, will duck behind some cover for the time being. Celtic pulling out a nade of his own, sends it over the top, tries to confirm the kills. Doesn't really need to. Can just do that dry with the M4.
Yeah, great play here from Bushido Wildcats. Really holding on to this location here is important, but Metabay and Celtic being able to lock it down. Kera finds Metabay with M24, though, before Metabay found Louis. Just trying to get the confirmation here. And Celtic did manage to confirm that point. Important points here for Bushido Wildcats. Trying to get into that top 10. Trying to chase down one of the teams that's actually shooting at their targets. Ascend here. Now on board with Killikai, the Austrian man himself. And yeah, let's see if TMO tries to. Oh, that's actually a pull-up. Look at that. They're going in aggressive with it. And I love that from TMO. Punishing the 2-2 split here from Ascend.
And the bamboo falls, and TMO enters in towards the building. Looking to slice through Ascend with the katana. You know what Ascend can get done here. Kind of a tense situation there with Bushido Wildcats, actually. Where they're playing this 2-2 split, but they are able to hold off balls. That was a very, very good moment for them. Justice. Panzerfaust in hand. Kill sends a nade over, but the fight is just brewing for the time being.
Yeah. Let's see what TMO can do with this one here. Some Panzerfaust in hand, but the advantage really goes to Ascend having already been in this compound here. They can peek it from behind safety. Now a pull-up comes in. T-Bone pulls some of the other sides of things. That's going to be well received by Justice. Look at that. That's a kaboom right there from the Panzer. T-Bone on the receiving end of that. And Keta. Oh, he goes for a nade flush. Look at that. Tries to get the shots off here. But damage done already. That potentially could be a really good nade. Killer Kai finds a double knock onto Ares and him, and Justice gets the explosion on T-Bone for the flush here, but it's now a 3v2 with that fantastic nade from Killer Kai.
Yeah, on the other side of things, it might have been Justice opening up a little bit of opportunity, but Killer Kai with the double nade really has caused some big problems. Justice, though, fighting for his life. Takes down Keta with the Molotov. Really trying to keep things up. It's Chris. Will finish off He-Man with the nade as Killer Kai looks to head down the stairs with the shotgun in hand. Mika will find It's Chris, but the wraparound is there.
Nice shotgun push here from Killia. Now it's a 1v1. Can he find him? Can he get the push? Oh my god, it's it's Medibay that finds Killia Kai in the distance here. And TMO looks like they're going to be able to survive just a little bit. If I'm Bushido Wildcats, I'm pulling up on this. They know it's 2 knocks. They've seen Justice got hit as well. He's half HP, so that could potentially be easy damage done to them. They also have to heal after the rest. Like, you're hurt for a good 20-30 seconds. After this here, but yeah, next circle pop shortly here, and Bushido Wildcats wanted to be ready for that. That's a northern shift, and No Slack is looking great for this one here. SAUL looks good. Hive has some control as well, but there's still so much water and so much river, so many small ponds that count as unplayable here, still inside the circle. So not much is going to be determined until that third pop.
Yeah, you're sort of expecting that it's going to come up over towards No Slack and SAUL, right? We could have something a little bit wilder, but I think right now those two positions are fairly strong in terms of the teams playing them. The Vitality do head on that northern edge as Viz tries to push through, but they've got Everlong as well as Hive on their front side. And as we speak, it is Na'Vi making that entrance over towards the east. I do think if Starry Skies gets into an engagement with Na'Vi, likely Na'Vi's winning that one out.
Yeah, we could see. Oh, Perfectix finds Sosa. Nemesis. Such a rough one to lose a player already. That's just sad for them. They had such a great showing so far, and today it's been anything but. It's just 12 points for them on the day. I think it was something along the lines of that, or is it even less maybe? 9 points on the day. That's not enough, Blank. If you're a team in the chase for second place, if you're trying to defend your third place, losing players like this here, Nemesis sitting far out. It's actually one of the worst spots currently with how the river kind of works out. SAUL holding on to that recall station area there, but there's some unplayable high ground rocks that's also going to pull away from it eventually. So let's see what happens. Now on board here with Na'Vi. One of the teams that's trying to hunt down that third place. Just 11 points, Blank. They could do it with one more great performance in this one.
Oh, easily. And Na'Vi's been showing us some excellent stuff today. I do feel for Team Nemesis there, but I think you were saying earlier, Twisted Minds, they know Rondo like the back of their own hand. And it was a fantastic trap, they said. I think it's very obvious where Team Nemesis kind of wants to go. They want to scout out that area. They're going to lose a player from it. I mean, they knew that it was a risk they had to take to try and find some safe passage here on Rondo. But Twisted Minds, they know all the nooks and crannies of this map, so they weren't going to get through easily. And now Starry Sky starts to encroach on that position. And you're right, Team Nemesis is now in a little bit of a rough spot. I think the only thing they really could do is try and wrap down towards that south side. That's a long shot. That's a real desperate gambit they'd have to go for. Otherwise, they just have to play this pincer.
35 seconds until this next pop here blank, and we're going to see where we're going to be ending up. A lot of the teams are playing this passively, slowly, except for TMO with a crazy pull-up, obviously, onto Ascend, but still, a lot of teams are trying to figure out their space and where they want to hold up. Mostly, it's a game of information now with what compounds are available, what spots can we play into, where can we go to from these next kind of jump spots that's available to them. That's some really, really rough zones to be happening on top of Nemesis and Stars, guys, just disabling all electronics. If you're relying on cars, if you're relying on your scopes, they're disabled. And look at that. Okay, so Hive looking good. No Slack looking good. Then unplayable from the river, it's going to go north. The unplayable from SAUL side, it's going to go away from that as well. It's very likely we're going to be ending up close to where Hive, Vitality, and No Slack is currently.
It's sort of what we expected, right? Off the back of this circle. No Slack identified that, as did SAUL. So some very quick thinking there. Twisted Minds, they know they got to get a move on. They head over towards the pagoda and try to play around that as much as possible. But there is some fire coming from the side from Silas as the rest of the lobby also takes some pot shots towards them from Hive. Team Vitality. Machina Wildcats, though, going up against TMOs. Mika will go down, as will Justice. The Doozy's also getting involved at distance.
Well played here by Gomago. Now 57 HP, has to make something. Actually stolen away. Yeah, man. Last player here, he's coming in. And yeah, it's a rough one for him to try to get more points out of this one. They got 3 kills, but more placements is unlikely. The question is, who are you going to be giving these points to? What area can you try to survive for just a little bit longer? This, okay, sure, you might be able to survive for a little bit, but let's see if No Slack weeps you just a little bit later. Lots of guns here available for him. Look at that, that's an AK and some bullets, and a Dragunov too.
Yeah, it's not bad. He's kind of rocked up to an excellent location. Kirixi with the mortar on VP, trying to open up
to
a crack in the circle. Maybe over towards Bushido,
yeah,
like you say.
So.
It's pretty on target. You know, Code Marco's fairly lucky and instantly scattering back inside the building, away from the mortar fire.
A little bit further left, and that disables cars. That hits targets. That's disgusting. It can't be further away. He can't put it further away. Like that would be. He would have to reposition the mortar to a little bit back and then shoot it a little bit further. But if that hits a car or hits the opening of that hard cover, that's going to be difficult. Circle closes. Teams are trying to sweep in here. And now PGG from this northeastern side, straight in towards Na'Vi. Or 3 gear on the sides of these guys. But they're hurt from the blue zone. 60 HP, 65 HP, 70 HP. That's 1 or 2 less bullets you need to be on the receiving end on potentially Na'Vi here. And now they're going to continue. Try to send it a little bit deeper. A little bit of a Hail Mary here. Are they going to get towards this, or where are they going to end up? At least they're driving close together. They could do a pull-up.
Yeah, I mean, for Na'Vi, that's sort of easy prey there, and PGG knows it. He just has to scamper away from that position, as Seviz also finds targets, and PGG is just from one hovel to the next. Can't quite find a place to stay right now, can't quite find anywhere to call home. We'll just rock up over towards the pillar, play around the back of this. There is SAUL here, very close by, and again, PGG is sent packing.
Yeah, these guys are on a camping trip, that's for sure. Them being all 4 alive and still in cars is kind of surprising. But they're gonna try to get a space in some area around No Slack, and they actually managed to pull up on a crate as well. Look at that, beautiful. Sabila has to heal, Sadek has to heal, and now some shots are coming out. Silas finds Hackatory. Boostic did find Nitro, so it's a little bit of trading on both sides here. Ferry is a little bit of a drive up here. Pull up, and that Silas goes down to Spiro. And that's some points coming the way of Na'Vi. I don't see them saving Hackatory. Maybe that's a pull-up, put him in the car and get out of there. Silas gets stolen from Blue. That's Twisted Minds getting a little bit of points here. They need to have a massive game and a chicken dinner to have a chance of catching VP.
There's always a lot of pressure on you, right, when you come into a game and you think to yourself, we need kills, right? Not every game constitutes that. Some games require you just to play towards the center and finish up with a 6 kill game with a chicken dinner, and that's great if it's day 1, day 2. When it comes down to the last 2 matches of the day and you're still a fair ways off, you know you've got to really push things to the limit. And for Twisted Minds, who kind of the aficionados of Rondo, they've got to take it to the task. Lou is finding shots over towards Hakatori. He gets the re-knock over towards him as they picked him back up, and Na'Vi is investing resources into that one. Mom sends forward to try and find a ditch, but it's not happening as Batulins sees it's coming from a mile off.
Yeah, he's got called out from that now, and Nemesis trying to get some more points, trying to defend that third place. Both Na'Vi and S8UL, both on 2 kills so far. It's a difficult one, this one. So many teams trying to get in from this western side here. S8UL eventually also going to have to play somewhere, potentially on the northern side, potentially somewhere on the west or breach somewhere. It's already so congested towards that middle ridge line. Levante goes face first. Look at that. Boom. He's down to 2 HP himself, but that is Vitality taking out Hive.
He just tanked it, dude. He just tanked it. I mean, he went in fully expecting to die, but it seemed to work out in his favor.
Whoa.
Molotov, though, gets absolutely put down over there from Fantasia, from Everlong, and they're just continuing the charge here. They got the lances out, looking to hit S8UL out the saddle.
Finds one. It's now Versary with an MP5 in hand. Polo as well. That's gonna be a great nade from Besto though. Finds him. And now S8UL, they might be able to survive. Oh, I know that's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a 2-man with the zone pushing them. They do not have a side inside this next one here. And now Marco bleeds out, and a lot of teams are trying to kind of scurry into this one here. VP got that southern side, hoping for a shift. They're gonna have to fight No Slack and PGG, or make a big sweep on that western side.
I get as much done as possible here as S8UL, but they are likely to go down. In comes the Mortars. It's a little bit far over towards Twisted Minds, but this is definitely a place where Mortars can be extremely effective. Twisted Minds, they'll play in 2 positions. 2 players over towards the Pagoda. 2 players holding out players coming in from the southeast side. They've kept tabs over towards Team Nemesis throughout this entire thing. Na'Vi, on the other hand, they've just been sweeping players aside on this northeast edge. They've got tons of areas to play with, but they're not quite in the blue just yet.
Oh, shots. Crossback finds Correxy though. The drive-by tried to happen here, and now more shots coming in here. Metabase low, Crossback's low. That's a great nade. That's probably going to be them out. Beamy finds multiple of them here. And VP getting more points, just skimpering through. Even though it's rough games, they managed to pull up and get stuff done.
It's a lovely nade, posted right underneath the vehicle. I think that at that moment, Bushido Wildcats knew they were doomed. Stage will find Lou, though, immediately stolen away by Fairest, which is unfortunate for Team Nemesis, but they are making an opening. It's a nice nade, big damage between the 2 of them. The Twisted Minds is a really big deal. I mean, already down to 3 players is a bit of an unfortunate situation to be in, but Team Nemesis, they weren't going to forgive them for earlier. They set the bear trap, but the bear has finally been let loose.
That's great. That's a really good reposition here. After showing yourself and then just hurting out, they said, oh, he's right there. He's going to be on my ping, my color. But State says no. Oh, that's Beamy and the boys out. PGG and Viz collectively destroying the 11th place for them. And now the nades are coming in. Look at that. Batulins is down to State's nade. Now it's Example. He's going to try to get into the smoke. That's another great nade here. Nemesis is starting to turn on a little bit to defend that 3rd place.
Yeah, really good stuff from Team Nemesis. Great off angle from Stade. Really good patience coming through from the 2 backliners there from Team Nemesis as well. Waiting and confident. He'll find an angle over towards them. Very well done. Team Nemesis, like you say, they're desperate to hold on to this 3rd place. Those PGC points, they do fall off quite sharply as you drop down towards 4th. So holding on to 3rd is a really big deal for them. With S8UL down to just 2 on 6 kills. They're a little ways off. It's not too far. And I'm actually honestly surprised that S8UL does get 2 players in. They waited out the blue a long while before marching back into the circle.
He might actually get a full open kill here on Kovalevi. I don't think they expect them to get in that quickly behind them there. And now No Slack down to a 3-man. There's no way Kovalevi's going to get rest here. Hakatori finds IXE. And now No Slack goes quickly from a 4-man strong from the southern side to a 2-man. Defex steals 1. And now Na'Vi is going to have to make moves here. Can they get on the northern side? I'm not sure. Vitality looking extremely strong now. Posting up on that northern side. Trying to get Na'Vi, push them away. Deny that entry.
It's a fantastic position for Team Vitality to have. And this is where those vehicles really come into play, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so open, I imagine a lot of vehicles are sort of on their last legs at this point in time for quite a few teams. Navi's been playing so much on the outside. They're one of the few teams that still has vehicles up. Getting shots out the car at that range, into that angle, real tough stuff. But even the vehicles here taking a lot of damage. An onslaught of grenades goes over towards Team Na'Vi, but Navi's still kicking with 3 players. Make that 2 though, as another nade is sent. It is a little bit pitch long, but Vitality, they were ready for this.
That's great utility off the side from both Vitality and onto Na'Vi and from Na'Vi. Look at that. That confirmation onto Gestrux. It's strong now. With one more blue zone, that could have been a little bit longer. That would have denied them. Levante has full 3 gear. And now with the blue zone being thrown in the direction of them, I don't really think that it's going to be more than this. I think they're just going to agree to survive on both sides of it. They're going to have enough cover and enough kind of riches to play out of. And then eventually they're going to have to fight. But now I think they're going to agree to stay alive alongside each other.
Sorry, very lucky on that bounce there. The Molotov will keep them at bay for the time being. In the meantime, Team Nemesis is taking it to Viz right now, as well as No Slack. Like you said, this team is very unwilling to let their place go. Sadly, Habibi will find a very good nade over the top side, keeps them out. The blue is at their back, so they're being pushed in. You can see them here in the picture-in-picture, just trying to stay alive as long as possible. But No Slack, as well as Viz, are starting to move on in. And there's another big nade. Will do a fair bit of damage. Emergency cover flares are down. The side swipe is in position. Primed and ready to go from No Slack.
SAUL has managed to get a really great spot into this circle here. Favors finds Squizzy. Bestlock finds Stade. Mailman goes down as well to Besto. SAUL getting points here. Defix finds a BB. That's an opening that's needed now. Look at that. No Slack pushes in. Gets points done here. Now they can also sweep on to Viz. Gets a great nade here. It's going to do tons of damage to Stratos. Scavs find it. And now it's a 2v1 versus R2. And
Navi's still not messing around over on this north side. I feel for the observers right now because there's a ton of action going on. It's all so important. SAUL though live far into this game, and the fact they were taking kills from this side of the map, coming down all the way on the northwest, very impressive stuff. No Slack though looking to finish off the remainder of Viz, but a nice shot from the sidelines. We'll find at least one. It's all up to Scav now.
1v1. Viz and No Slack. Arton and half HP. Stun grenade on the side of Scav. The IGL himself here can make things happen. 3 kills for him already. No Slack trying to get back to their place that they feel like they deserve. Just 9 points less than Na'Vi currently. But they're both alive. Both SAUL, both Na'Vi is alive and strong here. Oh, Watson is so blind here. He's pushing him. He's got the cover. Barrel. And he make things happen here. Good push around here. Scav tries to swing around and only 10 bullets. Scavs takes this one home for No Slack. Gets another point for placement and a point for a kill here for No Slack and gets Viz out in 6th place.
A really gorgeous couple of stun grenades sent through from Scav. Had him blind for so long and he really needs to move up. 10 bullets left in the magazine as well was kind of rough coming through for Viz. But Scav's able to secure himself a top 5 here. He'd love to get himself into a top 4, but it still Hixus from Boars living on the northwest. He's been alive for quite a while. Vitality is finding shots, and Na'Vi had to slow things down. I think both Vitality and Na'Vi are starting to run low on that utility. Didn't want to keep pushing it any further.
They've got Smoke to work with here. They can get in. Ferris finds Hixus from Balls. You did not find more Infinity Stone this game being here, but now it's top 4. The Balls got some points, but still in 13th place. They're outside that mid-pack. They need to have great last game to get more PDC points. Now that open run here. Look at that. SAUL just absolutely right for the picking here. And Scav finds Phil first even. Levante tried to get most of it, but didn't manage to secure it.
I mean, Scav would love to grab these points and does find Phil first. Boostic will finish off Bestalosh. But again, for Scav, this is a huge moment for them. I mean, on 98 points, I mean, sure, it's not going to be enough to leapfrog, but it does set themselves up, primes them for the last game. If they get a 2nd place here, it's huge for No Slack. Na'Vi with one last player up against the 3 from Vitality, not looking good for them.
Boostic denies it though. The Quizzy push did not come through here. Lots of stun grenades being committed to this one here. He's got nothing left but a gun and a dream. 3 gear and a 2 helmet on him. No more utility. Can he make a push here? Such an active player, such a proactive and strong player here, Boostic. Look at the shots from the distance there, trying to deny the angle, but can he make something happen? A bit of a foldable shield here to get more angles of approach. He's not inside this next circle, but it doesn't really closing him for quite a while here. So maybe he's hoping for Scav to make a push on to Vitality to kind of split the fight 2 ways.
It's kind of an awkward one because you post up 2 players on this front side. Now, Vitality's position feels a lot less secure, right? Yes, they have the buildings, but they were hoping that they could just secure these kills over towards Na'Vi, finish them off, and then regroup down towards that south side to finish off No Slack. But now you're in a situation where you're basically forced into 2 1v1s.
Yeah, 2v1s for sure. Levante, though, he turns his eye towards Boostic and goes for a mortar shot towards it to help. Hello, my bad. Now turns his eye towards it again. Opens up for the push here. Boostic sends it in. Tries to get a 1v1 with Hello My Bad. Hello My Bad got the cover here, but shots come in. He's low. Boostic gets found here. Hello My Bad wins it. And now it's a 2v1 with No Slack. And Scavs manages to get a 2nd place here. 99 points. Can he squeeze more points out? Or can he clutch it against Vitality that is making a run for it in our penultimate game here of PEC Finals Day 3?
Yeah, it'd have to be a huge game from Scav. When we get to phase 9, it's going to be completely closing in on Vitality on Levante's position. It's almost an impossible game right now for Scav to make work. He has a Molotov and 1 stun grenade. That's it. They send out the gas can towards him as well. Didn't hit him with the Molotov though. That's big. He's able to get out the line of sight from that gas can. Good shots. Doesn't quite connect over towards Hello My Bad.
Oh, he pushes him. Tries to go hit him with the laydown here. Can he get a lineup? Can he get something? 29 HP is not enough here. And we see Levante push around. And Vitality, they strike back. A 9-kill win for them, Blank, to get a 9.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, joining around the world as well. The final game here for PEC. Virtus Pro are the kings here of PEC. But who is going to be able to challenge those podium positions? Let's find out.
As we head into our final match of the day here at the PEC, it's down from the south up towards the northwest. It's a bit of a scary playing path here, Avenger. Could be some shenanigans right here at the end of the day.
Yeah, it could be. We could have a military game, and that would be glorious, wouldn't it? I'd love to see that. Surely that's going to be some VP bridge camping on that western bridge. That'll be lovely to see here. Funny stat here to pull out. As you saw, maybe you feel like, oh, Example, that's not a lot of kills. Example has stolen 0 kills and lost 4. Meanwhile, Beamy has lost 6 kills, stolen 3. Nixie has stolen 4 and lost 5. So they're on a much smaller kind of loss ratio when we're talking about VP, where Example has not been able to steal any kills but lost so many. But still, the Damage King is still here and always so ever present in that top damage leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, for Twisted Minds, it's been a good, honestly, it's been a good 3 days. It's just been bombastic from the side of Virtus Pro. Insane stuff from them. We get a somewhat Sosnovka circle here, but very unlikely it's going to drop down here. But it does really tighten up the space on the Northern Island, right? In terms of where you're playing. Because I think most teams would assume that this is going to end on the mainland. So you've got Farm, you've got Potato Hill to play around with a little bit. Players might be trying to set themselves up along that coastline, potentially. But overall, it's a bit of a weird circle to be playing.
Yeah, it is. Getting out my permanent marker and writing circles and stars on the floor right now, praying for some crazy shifts. We would love to see some military games, still a double southern shift or something crazy, but still, it's unlikely. It's looking like a Na'Vi home turf-ish ending here, and I can tell you right now, that's the conversation going through their story. They're like, okay, where can we get the most points? Where are we most secure if the circle comes north? And where can we make the most things happen here? Because that push for third could be massive for them. Only 6 points up to catch Nemesis here from their current position. And Na'Vi would win a tiebreaker considering that they have 41 placement points and Nemesis only have 35. So that's an easy 6 points to be gathered for them here. And yeah, lockdown would be massive. Also, when we're looking at the leaderboard here, Buying, we have to admit that the top pack and mid pack have separated themselves quite heavily here. Looking at Ascend and Down, even though they had a great day yesterday here, they've fallen 15 points short of PGG, 20 points short of Vitality to fall into that 10th place. But still, a top 10 is still really respectable. It's 20 placement, 20 PGC points for 10th place. Huge difference.
I mean, PGG being in 9th, it's going to be hard to catch up to them. Certainly possible with a really strong game, but with Ascend playing on this western side, having to push through quite a few teams. As you'd imagine, the Team Nemesis is going to start working their way down, as is No Slack. It's going to be a difficult game. Tricky, to say the least. But I think Ascend can still grasp at that 9th place, potentially. But I think with how much this game means to No Slack, Na'Vi, S8, UL, and Team Nemesis, very much doubt they're going to let this one slip through their hands here. I think it's going to be a game where everyone is focused to the absolute maximum as we head into our final Iron Goal of the day. For S8 UL, I think a 3rd place here eventually will be basically what they're looking for, right? I think getting over towards the 2nd place will be a little bit of a wild game for them to have. But I do think they could be absolutely proud with a top 4, even if they finish right now in 4th place for them. They get up towards top 3. They'll have done all their fans very proud. It's a really tough lobby. I think going against Twisted Minds and this revitalized Virtus Pro, yeah, it'll be a crazy result to get any higher than that.
I guarantee you that S8 UL is saying, if we win with big kills here, we're getting 2nd if we can take down Twisted Minds early, because that's the aim. Because from 4th to 2nd is 80 to 150 PGC points. 150 PGC points is like, okay, we're basically already almost putting our tickets in the basket for PGC, and we're looking really strong for the next finals in terms of Esports World Cup, in terms of PGS, because SHL is obviously not invited, and the teams that are ahead of them in VP, Twisted, they're already getting invited because of the GPT partner status to PGS, and Twisted Minds being the Esports World Cup winners and champions defendants, they mean that they're directly invited, and VP having won PGS 3, they're very likely to be directly invited depending on the next PGS results. So it's very important to get as many points as possible here. But yeah, for sure, in the next playoff, we actually have some absolute banger games coming up here, both for this one, but also next weekend and the weekend after that. There are so many crucial points and games to be played in the coming weeks here, all around the globe. Obviously, later here, we're going to be seeing PAS jumping off as well and having their conclusion. We've been having Master Series going off as well for the Southeast Asia region too. Korea is playing, and obviously we've had some crazy games to be determined already. But yeah, the next 2 weeks is crucial if you're an esports pro player in PUBG esports.
Disappointing crate there for Marshall and DVS inside.
The disappointing? Nah, I will not have that. That's, you put that straight in the car, and then when somebody crashes your compound, you can say hello.
Not what he was looking for, I imagine. But you're right, it's a nice backup weapon to have. Metaway will find He-Man and the Mid-4 looking to duck out potentially early. But they do gain 2 placings right now, up towards 14th. Although it's pretty close right now, with Starry Skies only behind them by 1 placement. Everlong looking to try and get themselves out from the ditch that is a 16th place. Sort of an unfortunate game almost for S8 UL, where they're so used to playing on that eastern side, and this game they don't drop out early, they don't try and cross that bridge or go for a long drop, they instead drop up towards the western side, which is probably the smartest play for them. But where the circle ended up, it would have been very nice to be starting over towards Milta Power.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see where we end up though for this one here, man. It's actually quite the intensive game, especially if we keep a lot of water in play here playing. That's going to eliminate so much playable space on that northern side. And knowing the majority of the teams here, like when you're going towards that farm split, that snake, that area, that Na'Vi, the Na'Vi split even basically west of farm and north of the small ferry pier and shark fin, that's contested territory. That's hot waters, warm waters of That's already blood in there, and Sharks are swinging around. Look at that. Rocks, though, finds Kovalevi, no slack. And their dream of trying to get into that top 4, top 5 is falling a little bit apart here.
From Hive, from Rocks. Kind of excited. I wanted to see a little bit more out of Hive, honestly.
Yeah.
I think their end games are fairly decent, if not a little bit passive, but I think there's a lot to be taken away as they come out from the PEC. And they have 2 more weeks to really figure out what went wrong, what went right. But I think Hive's got a lot of potential as a squad. I think right now, 12th place, 52 points. It's not terrible. It really isn't terrible at all versus some of the best teams in EMEA going up against. But yeah, they definitely need a little bit more of that. The Na'Vi steroids, let's say, where you can kind of just send yourself into any situation and try and beat it out. So we'll see what happens with Hive. I'm really excited to see their future.
Yeah.
PGG similarly, also with some excellent players. I mean, Presenti's made a really good case for himself over the qualifiers and these 3 days.
Yeah, it's been looking decent for them. I'll say this, though, for me, for Hive, like Mogor has obviously been the big story to tell stories about, but the big game they had, and only podium they had, was the 10-point game in the first game of the finals, where we're like, okay, Hive's back, they're looking good here, and then it's falling slowly off for them. Not a lot of consistency, not a lot of big kill games for them, not a lot of synergy and kind of cross-working together here. And yeah, Sloy Jacket, though, on my end for PGG, 18 kills for him is very impressive with what PGG has been able to deliver here. Presenter really didn't get started until yesterday. But man, Scav and IXC has really made some stories and for themselves here. Satta as well. I'm really curious to see what Finland ends up looking at here. It could be... could definitely be a Corexi plus IXE, Scaff, and Sats, and then Kovalevi as coach or something like that. That would be an interesting lineup, but let's see what ends up happening with that. There's so many awesome things happening here during and throughout PEC. So that's a Northern Shift, though. That's going to be a farm, somewhat home turf circle here for Na'Vi. They're going to be able to get the snake compounds west of farm if they're able to scout it quick and lock that down, but yeah, Nemesis also locking down Shelter. They could also have a great game off this circle.
Yeah, it's a definitive circle shift as well, so no silly shenanigans down towards the south side, towards the bridge or Sosnovka. So every team can think that they're quite clear and free to just play on this mainland. But we did squeeze out a lot of space very quickly. I say you will making their way in. Everlong is at the road stop. They haven't quite paid the toll yet to Na'Vi, so haven't passed through just yet. VP playing down towards that south side on the coast. A little bit less information gained from there, but
right.
I think VP will be absolutely fine. I think they're generally fairly cognizant of what's going on in the circle right now.
Yeah, you would assume so for sure. Now shot coming in here from Vitality, shooting towards Ascent, trying to drive around this northern line, trying to sweep around this, but Vitality's already setting up for a bit of a cam here. 85 points for them, a few more, or they could overtake this and get that 7th place lockdown. I doubt that they're going to be able to catch no slack. 14 points is a big game for them. They basically have to win. Hackatory, though, on the other side, finds Petulins. And now, this is the chase we talk about. Na'Vi with a fantastic game, wins, a win and a chicken dinner and double-digit kills. That could put them in there. That could put them into the conversation. But it's a really difficult team to go up against without losing any players. And that would mean that if they're going down to a 2-man or a 3-man, they're going to have a difficult time winning the rest of the game here. Let's see with this engagement, though, playing between Na'Vi and Twiz.
Yeah, 2 extremely good teams. Going bat for bat here. RV potentially opening up the gateway for SAUL. Well as Team Nemesis and themselves to get past Twisted Minds, potentially get that 2nd place. Not that far away right now. 15 points total to break even with Twisted Minds. Yeah, it definitely requires Twisted Minds to go out early. As soon as Twisted Minds starts profiting on this match, the odds of a team kind of getting ahead of them goes down and down and down. You're sort of just on that cusp of being able to catch up to them right now if you're in 4th and 5th.
Oh, for sure. Let's see, though, what happens with this one here, Blank. What a circle to kick things off with, and Twisted Minds holding down, locking down that center position here. It's going to make it difficult for all the other teams to get that push and try to get that second place. Unless we see an all these shift, Nemesis getting a big start to see things kicked off here. They're locking down the shelter. And some kills to come their way with some of these rotations trying to send it in. It's going to be cool to see, though. But Hive trying to log out and shut out Ascent at this point here. They're trying to make an argument for themselves to push up further and try to overtake Ascent. It's basically a big fight for 10th place right now, and the rest is trying to fight to get into that top 6.
Looks like a very interesting decision that they made here. You can see them on the south side of our screen, wrapping around towards the bridge. And for Na'Vi, this could not be better as they grab themselves a lovely compound here. They're just going to get Boostic over towards them, regroup on side, but this is a lovely place to play. You do have First Pro down towards their south, though, sniffing towards this location, which is always a scary prospect. Ascend, it's Chris, gets lost inside the field. The UAZ is not going. And Metabait will find the shots. They stay two on the sidelines. There is an aerial cover as well.
Kill ya
Cobra Kai! At it again.
That's crazy. T-Bone also found Crossberg here. They might be able to put It's Chris in a car and get him out. Extract that man. Save private It's Chris. And you know what? If there's someone I want to save, do you know who it is? Blank.
Who is it?
It's Chris.
Is it? It's Chris. Fair enough. Oh, we want to get that boy back up again. Ascend. Love to finish in 10th place. So they solidify their position. It's great. For Twisted Minds, though, it is a catastrophic result there for Viz as they absolutely blast them out of the picture. Viz eliminated, and they will be the first team that will be going out here in the final game of PEC. Locked in at 7th place, with Vitality behind them by only 2 points. And Vitality finds a massive nade over towards Dante and Schengen. They might just be getting those couple of points right here, right now.
Yeah, they might be able to jump into that 7th place. And the 7th place is 40 PGC points. That's massive considering we only had 16 points coming in from our playoffs winners to S8UL. And now here with Twisted Minds, they're locking down this central position so heavily, but someone's got to stop them if this 2nd place would be up for grabs. And Nemesis currently are that team in the chase. SFUL and Na'Vi would have to have massive games to contest for that. But yeah, Na'Vi's looking good. They're looking poised for this 3rd place. Nemesis is going to have to make a great push onto Boss, onto Starry Skies, or have insane circle off come their way.
Struggling now. Oh my goodness me! The VRDM blows up, and the small moment in between, it bucks and breaks, and It's Chris will find the shots underneath. These players are some of the best in the world, and this is from a 10th place team, man.
So impressive here with that. Now Boss encroaching onto Twisted Minds here. And if they could stop them, that means that there would be an open discussion to see, okay, is 2nd place actually up for grabs? But that's going to be a different story. Now, Nixie finds adversary here from Everlong. Next circle pop is crucial to see who can take that 2nd place or 3rd place away from him. And look at that, it comes the way of Nemesis. This is fantastic for them. There's a lot of open space in that center circle here, but Nemesis got an edge. They got their claws inside, and it looks like they're going to be able to get up.
So said was knocked, is in the process of being rezzed right now. But it seems like they've got the nemesis of their own in the Boars, the Wolves in front of them who are howling. Letting them know that they're here, no slack. They have been down towards the south side for such a long time, and they make a break for it. Look to get towards the center. Scav does get knocked out by Boostic. Will be on the ground, but there is a space to play for now.
This is a difficult space to play when you have players that is on the top side. It has ridges, so it works as cover from the farm side, from the compounds, from the Harry Potter. But once the team's on the top ridges towards the dirt road, high ground, they get a spot towards it, then it's actually easy. Look at that. Tempo Dip gets absolutely blasted here from State. Could he find shots? Could he find kills? It's coming in, but it's a little bit close to kill you, but does not get, look at that, the drive-by pull up here from T-Bone. Shots coming out towards Hello Senpai, chases him down. Ascend is on an absolute tear here. Can he get the confirmation as well on him? It looks like it. Good points here for Ascend. Great game to start things off with.
Yeah, beautiful shots from T-Bone. Quick switch on the vehicle. Stayed. We'll find Killia Kai, though, with the mortar from up on high in the middle of both these buildings. Great predict as well. How has he figured that one out? I mean, it's a typical location where you rock the vehicles up and park them anyway, but damn, well played. Well played.
Threading the needle with the mortar in between two buildings, just unreal. He gets another one, that'll be huge here now. Vitality is sending it a little bit. It's Chris gets a bleed out onto Getrox. Perfectix finds Quizzy. That's potentially another point to come the way of Twisted Minds. Already 127. That's difficult. T-Bone finds Quizzy for the steal to deny Twisted Minds. Another point now. Levante and Hello My Bad rocks up to have a fight here with Ascent. And welcome, says T-Bone. Good shots from Killia Kai again.
Yeah, takes his head off. Really, really well played. Killia Kai having a bit of a game here from Ascend. And like we said, very, very unwilling to give up that 10th place on the leaderboard. Davila from PGG. I'll take some shots, and it's SAUL who is suffering off the back of this. They take one knock on their side, but PGG maybe look at push this a little bit further. In the meantime, it's Virtus Pro getting knocked out of the vehicles. That's Hakatori from Na'Vi taking the shots over towards Corexi. They're holding on, though. They're right on the south side. This is a tough place to play a Virtus Pro. Lucarux just gets the first aid kit. Oh, for the knees just behind him, but he hightails it out of there.
Samble gets Killia Kai. That's another point to come the way of Twisted Minds, and that second place looks to be cemented. Looks to be denied from anyone. Unless we see an absolute insane chicken dinner for Nemesis or a SAUL miracle run in this last game here of our first PC finals for PC Spring. Now, Starish guys gets back to the copy-paste past the compound here into copy, and they might have a good game too. They need it. They're in 14th place right now. They could make a little bit of a run for it, though. Lucarux finds Phil first, and best of luck here, though, Blank.
This is a huge grenade and a really terrible opportunity for SAUL, right? Two players going down, potentially being flushed out would be really bad for their tournament rankings. Luckily for them, backup has arrived in the form of Na'Vi. They were coming in from that eastern edge for a long, long while and do pincer up towards Virtus Pro. It might be Virtus Pro actually going out quite early. SAUL, though, they thought this was backup, but in fact, it's just another enemy to try and take down.
Yeah, there's Na'Vi and SAUL Burger onto VP here, though, and they are out in 13th place. It's a little bit too late, guys. It's great that you stopped them, but they've already won the tournament. So now it's just about padding your stats, padding your points a little bit, and now you're in direct contention with each other here. A fight in between these two teams could cement the fourth place. And look at that! It's Boostic once again! He gets an insane, complete wipeout of SAUL. What a player!
It's the boost flick from one side to the other. What an unbelievable spray coming through this from this man. The four-piece onto SAUL and denies them entry into the top four. But for them, it's entry into the top three. And they want more off the back of this. Moving in over towards TMO. They see them inside the shack. They want more points. It's a last day flourish for Na'Vi. 117 points, 9 kills on the game. But TMO is holding them off for the time being.
He comes in to get the points flushed here, and he gets a little bit of points. 11 kills for Na'Vi. He's got a sliver of HP, and now everyone else is encroaching onto them. Twisted Mind comes in for the deny. Blue Zone's being hurled in their direction. Can they stop them from the hunt here? It's looking very likely that this is going to be the end of the story for Na'Vi here, but a third place is massive. Now it's up to Nemesis to try to take it back, because surely Twisted Minds is going to shut this down, and there it is. It's Justice that gets Boostic down, but what a play from Na'Vi. I cannot believe it.
Na'Vi in third place now. They've drawn the line in the sand. It's 119 points to 116 from Team Nemesis. Dropping SAUL into fifth place, though. Goodness me, Boostic, what a spray down. Obviously, only one vehicle to work with, not the greatest thing to happen, but sometimes you got a chance here. Versus boosting, not the best idea. No slack. From somewhere, somehow, on Sosnovka, get themselves into a central zone at the end of the day. And it's 10 points, I believe, to knock SAUL out of 5th place on this one, which would be a wild result for No Slack. But 3 players, they're starting on 0 points here in terms of the kills. It's a little bit of a difficult one so far.
Yeah, it is. It could work out, though, perfectly. So the chase is Nemesis to Na'Vi in 3rd, or Nemesis if they win the whole thing and take Twisted out to 2nd. That'll be huge, but I don't see it happening here. And now No Slack is getting absolutely demolished. Batulin's fighting TMO here. It's looking like that 2nd place is absolutely cemented. I don't think there's enough kills even left. We do have some placement points, obviously, but Nemesis would need 14, 15 more points to take away that 2nd place. But yeah, if they can make the dream work, they could get back that 3rd place and cement even more PGC points to come their way. Look at that, though, as well for PGG. More points to come their way. Could also be potentially a 7th, I think, with 6 or 7 more points if they can take on No Slack. But Sata is looking like to get points here. He gets like it's exploded just in front of him, and Sata finds Sloy Jacket. Salik gets the confirmation onto it, though, and also confirms Sloy Jacket. Salik destroying just a little bit of the hopes and dreams here for PGG.
No Slack down 100 points, but a decent result for them. 50 PGC points for them in 6th place. Really, really well done. I think it's a great showing from No Slack. Team Nemesis, though, still a little bit ways to go on this one, but they're keeping it just as calm as they have throughout the entirety of the tournament, playing on this edge side, trying to work their way in. And for them, miraculously, they've made it past that 18-20 minute point with 4 players alive. Typically, at this point in time, Team Nemesis starts to spiral a little bit out of control for a lot of these teams, able to take a lot of space on this one. But Twisted Minds, they're working with Lynx AMR off in the distance. Always a deadly bit of opposition to go into.
Now, boss, can you find something from this one here? Now, Marshall finds Petulin. Stade finds Luik, and now this is the points that they need to get that 3rd place back here. The push from Diffix and the guys. Diffix has had such a tournament. An all-star player finds Rocks. That's 1 point for the kill, 1 for placement. Hive is out in 6th place.
Hive goes down.
They're up to 3rd. They took it away from Na'Vi.
And Team Nemesis, like you say, get 3rd place off the back of that one. It was a rough one. It looked a little bit scary, but they just kept things slow and steady. And it's Boars who were a really big problem for them last time, but it's Twisted Minds. They're looking to really send on over towards Team Nemesis, take them out early. They're not taking any prisoners off the back of this one. Example, will burn out Hixus.
And now it's just about if PGG can take 8th place away from this, or even 7th if they survive for a little bit longer. If this fight kind of evolves or a little bit longer and they survive on that southern side, PGG could make things happen. But otherwise, it's cemented like this. VP, congrats on 1st. Twisted, congrats on 2nd. Nemesis, congrats on 3rd. That's our podium finishers. Na'Vi, what a run. What a play again from Boostic and from Hackatory. These 2 guys, man. It's going to be so exciting to watch Ukraine play in PNC because those 2 guys have to be on that roster.
Just an incredible result. I mean, I'm very happy with the top 3 that we've seen from this one. In the meantime, let's wait and see this one close out. Twisted Minds really gunning for it here. I mean, it sort of... I think it is impossible for them to breach 1st place.
Yeah, completely impossible.
But they're giving it a good go. They're giving it a good go of it. 10 kills on this game. They wanted it to look close. That's what they want off the back of this one. They don't want VP feeling a little bit too free at the top of the tables. I'll let them know that they're always going to be breathing down their necks in the upcoming tournaments. Effect 6, 5 bullets in the Lynx AMR, ready to let loose with this one.
Yeah, there's 16 more points available in the lobby. If they kill the remainders and get 1st place, that's even not enough. That would be 153, I believe. So still 6 points short of Virtus Pro, but PGG's out. That is them cemented in 9th place. It was close though. Look at that. Tied with this. 1 point up to Vitality. But still, PGG to get a top 9 is very respectable in such a stacked lobby, in such a stacked regions here, Blank.
That's a terrifying thing, hearing Perfectix open up an air conditioning hole in Zabilla's head to finish off PGG. Twisted Minds, though, 3 players, Nemesis. They're not going to be able to catch up to second place. I think that's the big thing that Twisted Minds are sort of worried about in this game. Gave it the roll, and they do hold on to that second place victory for the PGC points too. Nitro from Starry Skies, they're going to get themselves 14th place, maybe up to 13th off the back of this game. Potentially with the placement points involved, getting 3rd. Emergency cover flares, they are going down now. Team Nemesis, a really clean way to finish out today.
Blank, I have news for you. If Starry Sky wins this, they could get 13th instead of 14th, and that's one more PGC point.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Effectic still going crazy with the Lynx AMR. Drops Team Nemesis down to 3, and that gives good, ample opportunity for the rest of Twisted Minds to move a little bit further up. Only 2 more bullets left in that thing, though. See what kind of use you can get out of it. Starry Skies look to make the big old push over. It's Mom, it's Nitro, it's Vazo. Stepping up to the plate versus Team Nemesis. They've got a player down. This is probably the best opportunity Starry Skies is going to get with that nade.
Oh!
It's right underneath his nose.
He inhaled that grenade. Nemesis trying to shut this down in a show-off. And now Nades comes in. That shield is a little bit damaged too. Can they make this happen? Panzerfaust in hand. Trying to see if they've got a little bit of an angle here. Twisted Minds playing this so smart, but Nemesis is trying for the control here. Starry Sky could still make this push here and get more PGC points. And that's what they're looking for. Everything matters.
It's a frustrating one here for Team Nemesis as well, with Twisted Minds just slowly eking their way around on the western edge. Luckily, Stage will open things up well over towards Mom.
Wow.
The effects will find Vazo. That's 2 down already. The rest of Twisted Minds not looking too happy about this one, hoping that Starry Skies would delay for a little bit longer here. It's not the case. Ammo's looking like a little bit of an issue, but Sosad's got the big guns. And the Mini 14 available. Not much util on the side of Diffex.
Oh, headshots coming in here too. And now Silas trying to survive for just a little bit longer. It looks like Mama himself is gonna be bleeding out there. Vatso is also left up there. Stade finds Nitro, and now it's left to Silas, the Belgian superstar himself. Silas finds Diffex and opens it up. Stade is low himself, and this could be the time to strike for Twisted Minds.
It's time to move on up, but delaying slightly as Silas has the angle over towards them, but really needs to be looking over towards Team Nemesis, who have basically roofed the entire team. Twisted Minds just cannot find this opening for themselves, with Team Nemesis controlling much of the high ground inside this location. But the blue is going to start to push them in off that high ground into open sightlines. And as we saw before,
my God,
not a lot of utility on side. Good spray from Silas. We'll find Diffex.
If that was cooked perfectly, that would have been a 2-knock right there. Silas trying to make the most of it, opens him up to 2 players, and that's going to be enough. He does find Soset. Look at that. That's 2 knocks on the side of Nemesis, and now Twisted Minds, they have a chance. A Lynx singing its song in the hands of Perfectix here. Full 3 gear as well. Can they close this one out? And again, make the story for, again, this was such a 2-horse race, but still so close. No, that's a big nade for Lou.
Pin pulled. And the game looks like it's coming to a close here. Stayed the final left alive here for the boys on Team Nemesis. And that is the closer. It's Virtus Pro at the top. It seems like the natural born killers in the Polar Bears have figured out how to use C4. And they've blown our Twisted Minds out of the water. Our champions at PEC.